With Volume 1 of the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection now out, it really made me want to talk about Metal Gear Solid 2. Metal Gear Solid 2 is one of the greatest games in the Metal Gear Solid franchise, and probably my favourite Metal Gear Solid game. And ranking Metal Gear Solid games is always really hard to decide what the best and what the worst one is, because I can see arguments for every single entry in the series, with the exception of Metal Gear Survive. If Metal Gear Survive is your favourite Metal Gear Solid game, just sort your life out. But for me, Metal Gear Solid 2 is just so good. It's one of the greatest games I've ever played, and to this day I still just regularly play it because I think it's fantastic. Nothing will compare to this opening cutscene that you're seeing here. Like, I just need to sort of set the scene for you, the gaming scene. This game came out in 2001, and yes, I am playing the Switch Master Collection, so the HD ports of these games, so it does look a little bit better, but I still play the PS2 one every now and again because I've got Metal Gear Substance, or Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance, which is the sort of like definitive edition. And other than sort of like crisping up some of the colours, this game looks incredible. Now, what I will say about the HD collection is that it just does so good at capturing how you remember Metal Gear Solid looking like on the PS2 rather than how it actually looks on the PS2, but again, there isn't much difference. So, full disclosure, this is the HD collection as you saw at the beginning of the game. But even still, like, it just looks incredible. Just seeing this opening cutscene was just mind-blowing in 2001. Like, I remember getting Zone of Enders to get the Metal Gear Solid demo, and also falling in love with Zone of Enders, which I've already done a video on. Now, just some background on this game for yourself. So Metal Gear Solid 2 came out in 2001, as already said. It was originally developed by Konami Computer Entertainment and published by Konami. It was produced and directed and written by Hideo Kojima, who is one of the greatest game directors that really wants to be a movie director of all time. And that really, really shows. It showed so much in Metal Gear Solid 1 how much Kojima wanted to be a film director, with these cinematic, like, wide shots. Just everything's just so cinematic, and it's like you're playing a spy thriller, and it's fantastic. It genuinely is. I can't think of another game that has a story that's so out there and crazy and wild, yet also so, like, captivating, and you just want to keep playing it, and you want to find out what other weird stuff's going to happen in this game. Now, before the gameplay continues, I just want to point out I have taken out all of the sort of story elements to this, so it is just gameplay of me running around the tanker, which is pretty much like what the demo of the game originally was. So yeah, I'm going to try and avoid as much spoiler talk as I can, because if there's people that haven't played this game, I would be heartbroken to find out that I've spoiled this game for you, because it is fantastic. It's loopy. I don't know how someone could even possibly begin to write the story for this sort of game, the story that this game has, but it's something that I never want to spoil for anyone. Growing up, I was always a really big fan of the first Metal Gear Solid game on the PS1. I think it was one of the first PS1 games I had. I don't think it was the first PS1 game. It was I definitely remember my brother having it, and then me stealing it off my brother to play Metal Gear Solid 1. And I absolutely adored Metal Gear Solid 1. I thought it was fantastic. Actually, tell a lie, I had Metal Gear Solid 1 on PC. That's how I remember playing it, because it had all the VR missions, and I got the PS1 version much later down the line, but yeah, I had it on PC, and I absolutely adored that game. I thought it was phenomenal. And then a few years later, Metal Gear Solid 2 came out while I was still pretty young, like 2001, so I was still in primary school, and I just was completely captivated by this game. I probably didn't understand a lot of the story, especially like back then when I used to just skip cutscenes and then be like, I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it was like I probably just loved the actual gameplay of this game. There were so many sort of like weird things I never knew you could do. Like, every time you play through this game, you find out something new that you could have done, because the physics engine was way above it, or in front of its time, before its time even. Everyone knows about the famous ice cubes. Like, there's a bar area in this game, you can like shoot this ice cube container and then individually watch all of the ice cubes melt. I think I'll go and do it in a minute just to prove a point. And at the time in 2001, you had not had an environment this interactive and this so like, I don't want to say like free roamy, because it wasn't free roamy. Metal Gear Solid 3 did like the open level free roam sort of thing, kind of. But it was very much like, here is your playground and you decide what you can do in it, if that makes any sense, because the levels are quite confined. They're small hallways, they're all very fun, very small and very unique environments, and you could kind of just do whatever you wanted. If you wanted to go guns blazing, you could do. If you wanted to be stealthy, you could do. But if we're being serious, the only way to play Metal Gear Solid is a non-lethal run. Like, it just is, because it makes the game, it's like doing a Pokemon Nuzlocke. It's like, it's not official way to play, but it kind of is. Like, that's how you do it. If you want to like have that impact and only kill like bosses, or like, there again, there's the ice cubes, but if you want to only kill bosses, or you want to like set yourself these own little challenges, the game gets so much fun. And I know it's weird saying like, oh, it's more fun like making your own fun with a game, but like, the game adds to it. The things that you can do, the things that you're like set up to do, are fantastic. Now, I know I said that there will be no spoilers in this review, but there is one bit you do have to talk about with Metal Gear Solid 2, and that is, you do not play as Solid Snake through most of the game. Now, in 2001, this was a big issue for a lot of people. Solid Snake was someone that you played in the first game, and you just had this sort of like, what's the best word I can really describe for it? You just had this connection with Solid Snake that you just didn't have with other gaming characters. And then to find out that you don't actually play as him for the whole game and there's a new character in it, got a bit annoying for a lot of people. But for me, I was a fan of Raiden. Like, I genuinely really like Raiden as a character. I liked him in this one. What I didn't like was Rose, which is a whole other thing. I can do a whole, like, I could probably do an hour-long video on how stupid Rose is. But, like, just as a concept and a character, and the things that she says just really, really annoy me. But I feel like this being how I see this as like my Metal Gear Solid game. Like, when I think of Metal Gear Solid, I think of this one being the one that I sank the most hours into it, and did all of the extra stuff. Like, I got all of the dog tags that you can get in the game. I got all of the difficulties unlocked. I tried all the different ways of playing the game. I think I probably sank like a good year of my life into this game, maybe more, easily more than that. Like, I know so much random stuff about this game, and that's just like game mechanics that I know about this game. Like, I know, for example, if you're hanging over an edge and you keep continuously doing the pull-up motion, you can actually get a better grip level, which is a weird thing. So that's a mechanic in the game. You can improve your grip level and hold on to ledges for a lot longer. It's kind of pointless doing it in the tanker missions, but later on in the game, when you're playing as Raiden in the plant, it is a lot better. Like, there's a specific area, if anyone wants to know, I'll tell you in the comments, where you can easily level up your grip strength. It probably takes about 20 minutes, and it massively helps out for later parts in the game. One of my absolute crowning achievements, or as a child, like gaming childhood memories, is completing this game on European Extreme difficulty. It's an unlockable difficulty. It's so hard if you get spotted. I think that happens from hard onwards, but if you get spotted or there's any sort of alert, then it's immediately game over. So just then, that would have been a game over. Like, it is unbelievably hard, but it's so good playing that difficulty. I feel like playing at that difficulty, you have to be so much more tactical, so much just better, think outside the box. There's more enemies, there's more like locations, like enemy placements, I should say. Later on in the game, the C4s get mixed around, so like there's a bit later on in the game when you have to dispose of C4s in different sort of like areas of the map, and they all get changed around like their locations, so you can't just like rely on like previous knowledge of where they would be. And in general, just the unlockable like things that you get in this game are so cool. Like you can unlock an unlimited ammo bandana, which weirdly ties into the main story and is a legitimate thing. You can unlock a stealth suit. There's so many things that you can unlock. There was a rumor for the longest amount of time that you can unlock the katana from like the beginning of the plan, and I never worked out if it was like a true rumor or not, but yeah, it's one of the things that I remember. And I'm genuinely so happy that this game has now come to Switch. Like just having this game on a Switch portable is phenomenal. Like I genuinely love it. One of the things that I do also want to talk about as well is the music in this game is some of the most iconic video game music ever. Everything from the main theme, which is just incredible, to like this ambient, like I want to call it sneaking music, like when you're sneaking about and it's got this like music in the background. Let's just see if you can hear some of it now. Something about that music is just lives in my mind, and I always remember it, and it's just so well designed. Like the music is genuinely really well designed in this game, and like the music prompts as well. So for anyone that's wondering, when I said earlier, this is how you unlock extras, is you basically just point a gun at someone, hold them up, and then get them to do a little shimmy, and sometimes they will drop a dog tag, and the more dog tags you get, the more stuff you unlock. It was a really cool extra mechanic that means nothing to the actual main game. Sometimes people like actually you have to kind of force a thing out of them by using like a lethal weapon and just like shooting them in the foot or the hand, and then they would give up their dog tags, which is another thing that I wanted to talk about. The damage in this game that like people take, not just rolling down the stairs like that, but like the damage that your enemies take it's just so realistic for a 2001 game. So for example, if you shoot someone in the hand in this game, then they will no longer use their hand, providing that you're using like actual lethal weapons. Yeah, they will never use their hand, so then they'll try and shoot with whatever gun they've got with the other hand, and it will be really inaccurate. Or you can shoot them in the leg and they'll limp everywhere, and you can also shoot people in the dick for an instant kill. Not a lot of people know that, but the two places to get an instant kill in this game is the head and the dick. And this game is surprisingly gory. Like Metal Gear Solid 1 was kind of gory, like it alluded to a lot of gore, especially with the stuff with like Grey Wolf and everything like that, and the like, so it alluded to a lot of this like gore, but then you didn't actually see a lot of it. Like yeah, one bit you walk through a hallway and it's covered in blood. But Metal Gear Solid 2, there is genuinely just so much gore. Like if you stand in front of someone, you've got like a lethal weapon, you shoot at them and they're like quite close to you, blood sprays all over the camera, and that's like it's just, it, to me, like seemed like a way more mature game than its predecessor, Metal Gear Solid 1. What this game did in terms of like story and in terms of mechanics is it took the foundational game, Metal Gear Solid 1, and then it put everything up. It made the graphics better, it made the physics engine better, it made the story better, it went bigger, bolder, better on everything, and like it was just fantastic at the time. And still is now. I don't know why I said at the time, because it's still fantastic. And there's just like loads of really random things that you can trigger in this game. So for example, going into this storeroom at this earlier point in the game just like triggers a scene where a guy comes in to try and eat some food in a minute while he's on yeah, there you go, quite trying to just grab a lunch while he's supposed to be patrolling around. Also, the point of me shooting that flower is because I wanted to see if you shoot flower, can you still see the laser beam from your gun? You can. That's the type of mechanics we were dealing with, and this is a 2001 game. I know I keep saying that, but I really want to emphasize how impressive that is for a 2001 game. I feel like a lot of people don't realize like what that means. But yeah, this is one of the greatest games ever. It genuinely is. I feel like everyone needs to have played this game, completed this game, and have it in their gaming collection, whatever version. If you want the HD, if you want anything, I feel like this is the, if anyone said, oh, what do you reckon is the where, I don't know much about Metal Gear Solid, where should I start? I'd say start with Metal Gear Solid 2, because it's the best. Like, in my opinion, I think it's got everything that you would need in a game. But yeah, that's been me rambling on about Metal Gear Solid 2. Just going to end it with this sort of hallway gunfight scene with no context as to what's going on, just because I kind of went a bit John Wick on a few people here, and you know, why not? I'll just show off. But like I said previously, whatever Metal Gear Solid is your favourite, whatever Metal Gear Solid game you think is the best, then that is the best Metal Gear Solid. For me, I think it's Metal Gear Solid 2, and I can happily accept anyone else's opinion on what is the best Metal Gear Solid game, because they're all fantastic games. But for me, for so many multiple reasons that I've said throughout this video, and for the just pure nostalgia of this game, Metal Gear Solid 2 is one of the greatest PS2 games that's ever existed, and one of the greatest games in history. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to discuss anything Metal Gear Solid, please just drop a comment down below. I'll happily talk about this game with anyone. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I try and put out daily videos, and I'm just going to be pumping out way more content over the next couple of months. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.